I had a little exchange with somebody that they were talking about how by the time they could vote, Donald Trump had long been in the media. That they really didn't know who Donald Trump was because of their age range and what they would have been familiar with. I hadn't thought about that. I was like, oh yeah, you wouldn't have known about The Apprentice. You would have known about these, SNL, the many SNL appearances of Donald Trump. That he was an SNL kind of favorite at a certain time, so he didn't know about this, and he was talking about like how that affected the way he had voted, his first vote, and so then he was getting into Bernie. And I was sitting there and I was, because I know a lot about Bernie. I was there, being way older than I look. And so I was like, yeah, okay, and so an important thing for people to understand about Bernie made it famous because of the progressives. And the progressives got some money pumped into them. And it's actually kind of weird where the money came from. Like, it was like 2 or 3 guys who were really interested in a group of hosts. So Cenk Uygur would be one of these people. Rachel Maddow was another one of these people. But a guy named Tom Hartman is where Bernie Sanders came from. He was an unknown until Tom Hartman brought him up and had him on his show all the time. But what's very important is Bernie is one of these people that he never objects to. There's a wide variety of military efforts he's never objected to. He plays this kind of like quasi-doting, like peace hippie guy or something, but he's not really like that when it comes to what he makes happen in legislation. And that was really one of those things in the long run that I thought would be important, that people need to know. He gaffles them. He ganks them. He ganks you. You vote for him and he doesn't stop war. He doesn't stop the government from spying on you. Like, that's one of those things that you can always count on him to never defend you from the government. There was a lot of this stuff that you see because I was there and I got to see Bernie come up and become famous, and then him to never side with a good fight and never cultivate the political clout that he could, like in just opposing things like domestic spying. This was an easy win. This was easy for him. This would have put him in the presidency for sure, and he could not cultivate anybody to help him do it. That says a lot about him. To even like cut massive amounts of funding, or to make it that you have to get congressional approval for military expenditure. He doesn't do this consistently. And then the big one is people who are all about Palestine. Bernie Sanders is always down to help out Israel. And you just don't know. You just don't know when he does, because of his district's ties to Air Force money. And so don't get ganked by Bernie. Stop getting ganked by him. It just takes experience. Talk to the right wing. We're experienced. We know more. We don't get suckered as much as you guys do. So later.